I'm realizing I should have grabbed my tripod when I came down here, so I will try to not shake my phone too much. Today actually is going to be the shortest of the lives in this whole series. We're just starting out. I was in the garden this morning. We're just starting out this series, and I have a lot of things planned that I want to share with you all. Just like our last series, it's a lot about Michelle's personal health journey and what I've learned that I want to share with you about proteins. Why protein is so important. I might be overshadowed by the happy pig grunting. I came down here on purpose because today I'm focusing on these guys and just showing you our setup and explaining how it works. But anyway, comment, say hi, let me know where you're from. And if you comment after the live is over, please come back and comment again, because I am just starting to lay out the schedule for this series of lives. I would love for you to be able to join me to know what's coming what day, and I'd love to send the schedule to you. Also, I'm going to be mentioning different resources in every live. I'll be talking about certain things that I just can't send you a link as I'm talking. So I will put all of those links in one resource that I will send you. For today, what I'm going to send you is just a way you can sign up to be in the know for all this stuff, since this is the first one and I don't have a resource page started yet. So comment the word protein after the live is over. For now, go ahead and comment, tell me where you're from, tell me any thoughts you have, questions about protein, all that good stuff. But when the live is over, come back, comment protein, and I will send you what you will need to be in the know for that resource that I'm talking about and for the schedule. So these pigs are so great. You know, every year I love this stage of the pigs. They're so fun. It's a fun animal. There is the negative that they get the bad rap for, that they stink, but it's not what you would think. It's really not a bad smell. Certain times of the year on a really windy day, depending on where you are, if you're close to them, yeah, it's not pleasant, but they're such a good animal, and they're such an easy animal to have. If you are looking at starting a homestead, or maybe you have a homestead and you're wondering what animal to start with, well, I would definitely say chickens. Are the chickens around? Some of them are back here, if you can see them. Obviously, they're the gateway drug to all homestead animals. But second of all, I would tell you to research pigs. They don't require a lot of space, and they're such a good animal to work with. When they get large, Bill's the one that goes in and works with them. I'm not crazy about a really big 400-pound pig coming at me. They don't run very fast then, but they do still run. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Let's see. Thanks for joining, guys. So many of you here. I'm so bad at Instagram handles. I want to reply to you by name, but I'm just so bad. So know that I'm seeing you're all here, and I'm glad you're here. I'm not calling you out by name because I'm just so bad at quickly understanding what the handle is. Let's see if I have any questions. I thought I saw some questions. Love your live videos. Thank you. Hi from South Central Texas. Cool. My daughters lived in Texas for a while. They loved it there. The Texas Aquarium, which I don't know where that is. South Central. You probably aren't too far from it. Such a good aquarium. Minnesota, northern suburb, and Utah. Good morning from Utah. Pigs are great if you have good fences. Yes, and that leads me to what we're talking about. That was S. Dodge. Yes, S. Dodge, you are right. Do you have pigs? I thought I would explain to you before I go any further in this live the whole setup, because this is a question I get pretty often. Whenever I show the pigs, I get a question about what is this electric? Why is it so low? Tell me about their setup. And I don't always have time to reply to all the questions I get. So I thought this would be a great chance for me to explain to you guys what's going on here. So when we first brought the pigs home, let me see, I'm not going to be able to show you. Here's the area over here. I don't want to leave the shade because it's hot. Over here, you can see the area where they had cleared all the grass. When we first brought them home, they were in this small area, and it had cattle fencing on just, you can still see the fence posts that are in there, just metal fence posts and cattle fencing. And inside of that cattle fencing, we don't usually do this when we first bring them home. Usually we have the cattle fencing and we put them in there. And then after they've gotten comfortable there, because they're really little, in maybe a couple days, we then put in, I shouldn't say we, I can't take credit for this. Bill does all the heavy lifting. He does the cool stuff like putting in electric fences. Oh, here comes the chickens, by the way. Some of them. Hi, guys. So a few days or a week or two into them being here, we install fencing just like this, but we put it inside of the cattle fencing. So whenever the pigs get close to the fence, they're going to touch this electric. And it's, of course, not going to be a pleasant feeling. And they instantly, with a pig, they're not overly bright. And they do have a very quick reaction. So their reactions are not always going to be the same. And often they could very quickly bolt and go toward the pain, but then go beyond the pain and be free and be roaming around if you just started them off when you brought them home with electric fencing. So the pain wouldn't keep them in. They would just keep going through the pain and rush through the fence. Sometimes they would go backwards. They're not always going to respond the same way. But if you start off with the cattle fencing and then you add the electric, they are going to eventually learn. We leave them that way for many weeks. They're going to eventually, like, just automatically learn, whenever I feel that pain, I have to go backwards, because they don't have a choice of going forwards. So they have just kind of muscle memory trained themselves that when they feel that pain, they go back. And the cool thing is they have a great sense of smell. Sometimes when I come down here, oh, my phone is getting warm. I hope my live doesn't cut out like it did yesterday. I'm going to go back to more shade. It's just so humid. When they have such a good sense of smell, I will often come down here and see them smelling it and then going away. Like they are testing their boundaries still. They know where that smell of the electric is and they stay away from it. So once we've trained them, we can take this electric fencing and we can put it all through the back down to the swamp area, all through the woods, all around. I don't even know how many acres they have access to right now. Bill would probably have a good idea. It's a lot, and it's almost all wooded, which is so good because there's nuts and there's bark and there's shrubs, lots of leaves, lots of weeds, lots of plants. All of that is really good food for them, and they're getting a variation, like a good variety of their nutrients. We also have to feed them grain. Pigs cannot be grass-fed exclusively. They just are not going to grow and prosper. I honestly don't know what it is about them scientifically, because much larger cattle can be grass-fed, and it's fantastic if you can buy grass-fed meat. But pigs are a different sort of animal, and they just have to have grain. So I don't know if you heard it a second ago. This is their automatic feeder, and they will just, maybe he's going to, they'll just walk up to it when they want a little bit, put their head under it. So we don't have to be worried about giving them new food every day. That will keep their food dry, and we just replace that maybe every 4 or 5 days, once a week. So they have free access to the grain, as well as, I mean, you can see how much they've cleared here already, as well as all the plant life and vegetation around. Good morning, Stacy in Utah. And let's see. Oh, we have someone from Charlotte, North Carolina. Mel Johnson. Used to raise red wattles, S. Dodge. I don't know red wattles. Cool. Okay, so if when you're buying your pork or your beef or any of your meat, if you have the availability to actually meet the farmer, we actually do sell pork shares, but I do not ship them. If you live in the New England area, I have 2 whole pigs or 4 half. We can only do half or whole pork shares available still. So message me and I can give you the details on that. But I don't ship. So I'm not the one for most of you. You know, North Carolina, Utah, and Texas, I can't help you. But you might have a pork farmer in your area. We're going to talk this week about how to find them if you don't know of any. And if you can, go meet them. Go see how the pigs live. Go find out. Do they have access to wood and to sunlight? Because it's important that they have the sunlight, because then they're getting so much good vitamin D, which is going to help for here in our climate. We really need extra of that. And in the winter, a long winter, it's just great to have the fresh pork that is such a good resource for that. So anyway, we'll talk more about that this week. I think I'm going to end now because I'm thinking my phone is going to die. It's so hot. And I have so much thoughts. If you comment protein, is that the word I said? Somebody tell me. That's what I said, right? Protein? I think that was the word I chose. Let me know. Those of you who were listening and are still on, let me know. Was it protein? Comment protein when live's over, and I'm going to send you a rough sketch of all the things I want to talk about in this series. It's not going to be daily, but it'll probably be more often than once a week. I haven't set the schedule yet, but I want you to know. So please comment protein so I can give you that schedule. So if you want to join me, you can know what we're going to be talking about with our protein pack tips and tricks. And you know what, before I go, I will explain something. This is going to be mainly talking about meat. There are other sources of protein. We'll get into that a little bit during this series, but mainly we're going to be talking about meat, pork and beef, because, and if you're vegetarian, maybe this would still be interesting to you, but I just wanted to tell you, that's the deal. Because protein, if you want the best source of protein in your diet, meat is astronomically at the top of the list because it is a complete protein. It has all 9 amino acids. Amino acids are so essential. They are the building block of all the protein that you need. And the great thing is, because it's a complete protein in your pork or your beef, you're getting all the amino acids that are giving you that variety that helps in all different assets of the protein factor. So we'll get into that more this week. So comment protein. Let me know your thoughts and questions. Thanks so much for joining me. And I'm looking forward to this, guys.